Hey guys, John Jr. here, bringing you guys another BBR video. This week we are playing Matt O'Shea, and this is going to be the team builder for that battle. You can check out Matt in the top right hand corner. But before that, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much. We have passed 900 subscribers, well on our way to 1,000, which would just absolutely be a dream come true. I've been doing this for like 7 years, so if we could hit 1,000, that's my goal. That would be fantastic. But with that being said, Matt's team is going to be Dragapult, Azumarill, Corviknight, Rotom Heat, Crocodile, Garganacl, Gallade, Toxtricity, Frostlass, Braviary, and Leafeon. I want to be straight up with you guys. I don't think Matt has a good matchup at all, except for Dragapult. This might just be the best Dragapult matchup of all time. He has Tera Ghost and Tera Fire, and Tera Fire destroys us. Some of his other Pokemon give us trouble, like Gallade and Toxtricity, depending on the 6 that we bring, but no matter what 6 we bring, we have a really hard time switching it to Dragapult. And I'm gonna be honest, Chien-Pao is Tera Electric specifically for this matchup, Azumarill plus Corviknight. It was actually for both of those Pokemon that I went Tera Electric, so starting next week, we are Tera Fairy. To start out this build, of course, we are starting off with Chien-Pao. After a fantastic showing last week, Chien-Pao is here once again to try to win this game for us. I really struggled with the 4 moves that we are going to be bringing on Chien-Pao this week, but I ended up deciding on Swords Dance, Tera Blast Electric, Ice Shard, and Sucker Punch. I had Sacred Sword for a long time to help us with Garganacl as well as Rotom Heat, but ultimately I decided those Pokemon would be chipped and this would be more of an in-game sweeper rather than a breaker. We are heavy duty boots because I very much foresee us playing with rocks on the field this game. And as far as our EVs go, we're 8 HP, 136 attack, 112 defense, 72 split depth, and 180 speed. And we're going to be adamant nature on top of that. We have enough speed to outspeed Frostlass because that Pokemon can Willow us. We can live 2 Crook EQs from full when we are in Tera. And then we can live a Boom Burst from Modest Toxtricity. The Crocodile Calc is super niche and might not take into effect, but I did want to have some bulk on this Chien-Pao, as well as I do think that could potentially happen because Close Combat is a pretty easy move to lock into against my team. So just in case that does ever happen, we have that defense investment. As I said before, Chien-Pao is going to be our late game breaker. We need to get a Swords Dance up in the late game, and then at +2, once things like Garganacl and Rotom Heat are chipped, this Pokemon can win. Our next Pokemon might be just as important as Chien-Pao, and that is going to be Golden Boy the Gholdengo. We are Recover, Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, and Nasty Plot this week with the Covert Cloak, and this is going to be just a generic OU set specifically for Garganacl. We have 8 HP, 116 defense, 140 special attack, 20 special defense, and 224 speed timid. We can outspeed the Gallade. We take 2 Garganacl EQs if he has no attack investment, which I really don't foresee him having. We can OHKO a physically defensive Garganacl with Make It Rain, and then we put the remaining 20 into special defense. This Pokemon is here not only as a potential pivot into Garganacl, it's going to be the best Garganacl switch in on our team, because obviously it does not get hit by Salt Cure, but it is also going to be pivotal for our game plan. Obviously, you look at Matt's team, one of Matt's big weaknesses is that its only defogger is Corviknight, and we're going to take advantage of that. Our next Pokemon that we will talk about in just a second is going to be there to set hazards, and Gholdengo is going to be here to make sure those hazards stay on the field, being able to switch into both Corviknight and Garganacl. Yes, he can get a free U-turn on our Gholdengo, but as long as those hazards are up, I don't particularly care about that. Next up, obviously I said we're going to have a hazard setter, so we are going to have Glimmora with the Focus Sash, Toxic Spike, Stealth Rock, Power Gem, and Energy Ball. This is a little weird, and I debated on a couple of different things on this Pokemon. I debated being Corrosion plus Toxic instead of Toxic Debris plus Toxic Spikes, and at first glance that sounds really stupid, right? However, I super value getting up these T-Spikes, especially if the Toxtricity doesn't come, which I feel like it might not. It definitely could, but I could 100% understand if he doesn't want to bring that Pokemon. So we're Toxic Spikes plus Stealth Rock. Again, super value those Toxic Spikes, and I am going to very much value those Stealth Rocks because he cannot remove those. We go Gholdengo every time on the Corviknight, and he cannot get rid of those hazards. We have Power Gem because it does really good damage to pretty much everything, and then Energy Ball for the Crocodile as well as the Azumarill. I had Earth Power to OHKO Tox, but Power Gem is just enough as we can Power Gem the Toxtricity and then put it in range of Ice Shard on our Chien-Pao. Depending on the 6 that he brings, 90% of the time this is going to be our guaranteed lead, and if he leads Garganacl, we'll switch into Gholdengo immediately, and we're just simply max speed timid because we want to speed tie that Rotom Heat, potentially outspeed and KO it with a Power Gem, and then just the rest into special attack because with Sash we don't need any bulk. Our next 2 Pokemon are going to be here strictly to deal with Dragapult, one on the physical side and one on the special side. The first one, and this goes out to the guy who commented last week disappointed we did not bring Dachsbun, is going to be that Dachsbun. we're going to be a pretty standard set, Wish, Protect with Body Press and Play Rough. Body Press in case he tears into fire, which I highly think he will. Play Rough so we don't have to play those 50-50s and we can just throw that off in case he doesn't want to TERA. We're just simply max Fizz Def with the leftovers because this can take on a physical Dragon Ball pretty well and at least get some chip on it to put it in range of all of the priority that we have on our team. This Pokemon literally has no other purpose except Dragon Ball. If he is special Dragon Ball, that is why we have our next Pokemon, Wo-Chien. Live Wo-Chien reaction is making his return as many of you requested. You guys love this Pokemon. He did so good week 1 and you guys loved it. He is here once again to potentially wall a special Dragon Ball. We have the Aqua Berry because obviously he is TERA Fire. And then we have Leech Seed plus Protect because there's no grass type on his team. I think it's Leafeon. That doesn't really... He's not bringing Leafeon. And then we have Ruination plus Knockoff because he doesn't have great Dark Resist on his team. Ruination we can throw off on the Corviknight, waste a potential Roost on that Pokemon, and knock off a lot of different things, items. And again, we are just full special defense because this is here strictly for the Dragon Ball, as well as potentially the Toxtricity, but mainly for the Dragon Ball. And then our last Pokemon, shout out to my buddy Star for helping me with this one. I originally had Cyclizar, but I traded it out for Quaquaval. Quaquaval, I still think this Pokemon blows. It has not done its job last week or the week before, but he's here now with leftovers. We have U-Turn, Rapid Spin, Aqua Jet, and Aqua Stop. Aqua Jet is really nice priority in the back for potential TERA Fire on that Dragon Ball, or even if he's TERA Ghost, we still do massive damage with Aqua Jet. We have U-Turn to gain momentum on the Azumarill coming in or the Corviknight coming in, and Rapid Spin to keep hazards off of the field. We have enough speed to outspeed the Gallade, which also lets us outspeed a Dragon Ball at +1, and this Pokemon is going to be here to gain momentum. The only issue with this team that I am bringing, no matter what, in this matchup, this is one of those matchups where I cannot prep for everything. I cannot prep for Belly Drum Azu, I cannot prep for defensive Azu, I cannot prep for Specs Toxtricity on top of Shift Gear Toxtricity, I cannot prep for physical and special Pult. I have to pick and choose my battles, and I went heavy on the Pult side trying to deal with Dragon Ball. So most of this team is very weak to something like Belly Drum Azu, but I really don't think that can come whenever I have Chien-Pao. I think he's probably going to be some sort of Wakan Berry on that Azumarill. We'll obviously see. He could be Belly Drum. I highly doubt it. If he is, we might just lose to that Pokemon. Otherwise, I think our game plan is pretty solid with the Garganacl plus Glimmora combo and then the Chien-Pao in the back. We can get pretty free Swords Dance up on most things and try to win that in-game with Chien-Pao. As always, you can find the team pace down below if you had trouble following along. I thank you guys so much again for your support. You have been absolutely killing it. Be sure to check out tomorrow's match, and thank you so much for watching. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.